Yeah, I'm clear. All right, guys, we are live on a special edition, I guess we could call this. Not really, we're just doing it a day ahead. For the weekly podcast, three loose lug nuts. This is episode 8. We're going to be recapping Martinsville. So I will go ahead and step back on this one. Yes, guys, I was there, but you guys know I was doing a lot of autographing and kind of whatnot, just hanging around. And it's really tough to watch those races physically in the pits. But I was there, and a lot of you are probably going to be like, "Well, how does he not know what's going on?" It's really that tough. But I'm glad I've got these two guys here, and they can kind of go over things, and we'll touch bases on everything. So, where do you guys want to start off?
Well, we might as well start with trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's first one of the weekend.
yeah.
The first thing I want to say about trucks is that Haley Deegan needs to just be. She needs to stop letting people run all over her.
Yeah,
Um,
it was either Phil or Michael said that during the race that she's got to quote unquote man up and stop. Just if somebody hits her, get them back. Don't let them run all over you.
she's being too timid. Um, and that's not how she got where she is.
No,
So
absolutely not.
No,
so
because
she.
she moved a lot of people. Think of the win she got because of that.
Mhm. And I mean, I fully expected her to turn Johnny Sauter after he drove her into the wall like that. And
Hmm.
I thought she was gonna try getting back up to him and just take him out, but it never happened. And Johnny Sauter on a part-time schedule finished second.
Would you think maybe she didn't get back into him because she was never really near him after that?
Oh, he about midway through the race, the broadcast Sauter was coming back up through the field, or I can't
Hmm.
remember if they were lapping her or something, but they're like, oh, Sauter's coming back up around Haley. Let's see what she does, and she literally just moved over and let him
It
through. Like,
it may have been in that exchange of pit strategy because they did have those alternate
yeah.
pit strategies during the truck and Xfinity race.
I just know that they did cross paths again and just nothing happened. She didn't even slow him down. She just got out of the way. Like you can at least slow him down for a couple laps at Martinsville. You see everybody doing that.
Make life a little more miserable.
Mm,
Like I said, guys, I'm gonna look stupid tonight, so I'm glad they're here to make me look a little better. But where did she wind up finishing?
20th or
19th.
19th, 19th. Yeah.
19th.
19th. Yeah, the truck race was pretty decent though overall. From what I did watch a little bit of the highlights. Who was that she got in the argument with there? Yeah, on pit
Lawless
road. I did.
Allen.
Yeah,
Lawless Allen, one of the Nice Motorsports drivers.
right,
Yeah, and
right.
they got together in the race also, and she must have just remembered that one
Hmm.
because
I,
she didn't
I,
say nothing to Johnny.
well,
Can
I
you?
think because I think they had got into it right near the end of the race in that
Yeah.
closing stage. So
Yeah, yeah. But what was? Let's see. I Josh, you just can't win for losing on your picks
Dude,
there,
I'm
son.
doing so bad. I think I came in last on every pick this week.
Well, I tell you that he's got pick. I mean, if you don't get it at Bristol, I don't know what to tell you. And then you got your, week coming back from Xfinity. You got, like you said, you got first picks. And hey, I must add again, not bragging, but dang, two cup winners in a row. Really, me? Come on.
I don't
I'm
even know how you pick William Byron. Like, I just don't get it.
Oh my god! Because I was like, well, Chase looks like we'll talk about it in a little bit. Looks like Chase is gonna win this thing, but then my god, there he come. I was like, oh wow! I got that almanac pulled out again from Back to the Future that he had telling the future. But yeah, looked like you picked Zane Smith. He did wind up ninth. I mean, still,
Yeah,
but when you got
self-inflicted.
yeah,
He would have won. He would have won. He was doing really good.
Crafton, I had that pick. I think he finished seventh, and then Kyle Busch third. We Octane, he had the obvious pick there, which was fine. I mean, hey, that's what it's there for. And he even said Kyle Busch, the notable Cup driver, he's going to be in the
mhm.
truck, so pick him. And with mine on Crafton's just always ran good there. I mean, he's a veteran, obviously, and that's kind of why I picked him. But
I don't
I
think
had wrote.
I don't think Crafton has a bad track per se. He's just flies under the radar so much that you just don't notice he's there.
Yeah, he tries staying out of them. He's just he's a consistency driver where I mean, he'll go for a win if he has to, but he's more of a stay out of the line of fire, under the radar type.
He's like a Terry Labonte or Bobby Labonte. He's
Yeah,
very
Hey,
effective. He's
just
very
don't get
effective.
don't get in
speaking,
trouble.
not cutting off subject. Speaking of Bobby, it was good seeing Bobby Labonte in the pits. Got to talk to him a little bit. I asked him. I said, Bobby, any plans for Bowman Gray? He said, what's that place? Playing dumb. I was like, you know what that place is? He's like, yeah, that's the dump where you take your cars if you want to wreck them and be done. He was like, no plans, but he's going to run up Franklin County. I think, actually, I think he ran yesterday or Saturday. No, it wasn't Saturday. It was today, actually. I think maybe, I don't know, either yesterday. Cause I think I saw him in there yesterday morning too. So, but it was good seeing him. We've seen Dale Inman too. Tell you real quick about that. So we seen Leonard, right? They had Pearson's car and Petty's car out in the fan grounds. Well, they brought them in the track, and they actually rode them around. This is before you guys. I don't know if did they show that on TV. They drove Petty's car and Pearson's together side by. Oh, it was so cool. I wish I could have been in the stands just to grab a picture. I'm sure they're probably out there. But seen Leonard and had asked him, said, all right, they're gonna bring Pearson's car and Petty's car out. I said, crew chief on crew chief. It's two of the smartest men out there in the garage. He said, what's that now? I said, we're gonna put you in Pearson's. We'll put Inman and the 43. He said, ain't no worries. I'll beat Inman. And then I went and told Dale about it. He said, it ain't no worries because I'll beat him. So how awesome would that be? Just see them kind of take a lap or two. I don't know who they had driving it, but it was good seeing those guys. But anything else y'all want to talk about? Like I said, I feel dumb tonight. I really do. It's terrible.
I mean, the truck race had the most wrecks and was the most exciting, but it wasn't a lot of notable action.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm looking at the caution flag recaps right now, and if it it's like the 44 truck. I can't remember who was Chris Wright, and it seemed like there was two drivers that made their debuts, Dillon Stoyer and Caden Honeycutt. Both of them, I think, were involved in two incidents as well. So you had two or three drivers that just didn't hit the setup and seemed to be getting in a lot of action, causing some cautions. So that was my takeaway. There was some normal Martinsville bumping and banging, but it wasn't, like Josh said, it wasn't real exciting. It wasn't real standout, action packed material.
I think we'll
yeah,
touch on that.
not
I
like
think we'll
a
touch on that
Xfinity
subject
race
later
there.
tonight.
Yeah.
We'll touch on the not so much action pack in a little bit. Jeez, that cup race.
But I would say, I mean, I'm surprised Sauter finished second. I didn't even know he was going to run part time in the 13. I knew he was running what the 26 or something like that. Or he ran, I think, Daytona or a couple of the super speedways. He's running with another team.
Well, it's
But
good to see him out there, though. I mean,
but yeah, just looking at the top, 20. It's basically the same people. Nothing really crazy.
And
I,
and you
go
say
ahead.
that to me, there's like you have 5 or 6 teams that are going to be up front every week, and then there's just a huge drop off in either level of team or level of driver.
Right.
That's just kind of what I noticed with the truck series.
What was the top 5? You got that pulled up?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
go ahead.
Byron, Sauter, Kyle Busch, John Hunter, and Ben Rhodes.
So dang, I didn't even think. See, that's how much my mind's been going crazy while I was in there. Byron won 2 of the 3 events. I mean, obviously, it wasn't in Xfinity, so
2
maybe,
clocks.
yeah, he almost swept. Well, if he would have been in the other series and would have won, he swept the whole weekend. Off subject, did you guys see that Jimmy Johnson suffered a wrist injury?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so I was
he didn't let go of the wheel.
Yeah, I was just reading that earlier today. I don't know. They ever say how long he's going to be out?
I hadn't heard anything.
Yeah, that sucks. Never fun. I guess that's really it for trucks, right?
Yeah, I mean nothing crazy.
The
Just
points change around much, any?
that I didn't. He's the points guy.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's still pretty much the same top 12 or top 10. Derek Kraus is just outside the top 10 by 1 point. And then Grant Ainfinger and Matt DiBenedetto are the only other two that I see that's in the top 20 that have any chance, realistically, being in that top 10 at the end of the year.
Right.
Unless you have like somebody that just gets let's say Tate Fogelman or Timmy Hill. Timmy Hill could pull off a win somewhere.
Yeah.
But if one of those guys pulls off a win, then they get in one of those top 10 spots by default. So we'll have to see if that happens.
Yeah, because everybody's kind of pulling out and pulling away. Like you said, like he said on the teams, I mean, you got your notable teams. You know who's got the powerhouse teams in the trucks. It's basically Thor Sport and what's the other one? I'm drawing
Kyle,
KBM.
Yeah, KBM, yeah. But yeah, not really much to touch on, I guess, past that, right? Move on to Xfinity. I think we got some interesting stuff to talk about there. I did catch the tail end of that because I was coming home. I left. I wish I would have stayed. I admit I probably would have broke my past rules and I'd have been on the grid with that camera filming. But man, that was crazy. We all know we got to talk about the Ty Gibbs incident. I don't know what y'all's take is.
Well, before that, Brandon Jones did a heck of a job. So I like seeing when he gets into victory lane.
Yep.
He's a fly under the radar guy. He's I don't know. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of credit out of that. It's almost like the fourth Gibbs car in Cup is what Brandon Jones is in Xfinity.
Yep.
I think it's just taken a long time. There's been a maturation process with Brandon Jones, and it's just taken him a long time because he had a couple years over at Childress and just didn't have any success over there. And even his first couple years at Gibbs didn't have a lot to write home about till, 2020 when he won 4 races.
Well, yeah, we talked about it weeks ago, how they were saying he was one of the worst drivers in NASCAR history, and he's proven himself. So I'm glad he's bounced back from that. And they definitely can't, say that about him now. It just took a while. But he's always, I thought, definitely he had the talent. He just needed to get in the right equipment and get the, the lucky breaks. Yeah, it was good to see him win for sure. What other notable things?
And I mean, before we get into the wreck or whatever we want to call that, I mean, Landon Castle had his best career finish, second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Allmendinger stole 100,000 by squeaking by everybody. Austin Hill.
We said last week though that it's always a Junior Motorsports going to cash that out, so they kind of took that.
Well, they had it till about 50 feet from the line, so
yeah.
And then just looking at the results here, Parker Retzlaff once again 12th place, and he avoided that big melee.
Let me tell you,
Ryan Sieg with another top 10, and that's 2 Sieg cars in the top 15, which is
it's getting to be more common.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. What says, what's up, guys? Nobody wants to chat. Come on.
I know, that's what I was thinking. We messed with everybody doing it on a Sunday.
Yeah. Speaking of Parker Retzlaff, that was really cool finally meeting that kid. Everybody's like, he looks like a nerd. He looks like a nerd. I'm like, I don't care what he looks like. He's cool. So he's standing there. He chit-chatted with us probably 5-10 minutes. I think it was his mom and dad there. And they were, of course, they were proud of their son. And they were praising him and saying, we were really glad he finally caught a lucky break. You just never know. He's like, his dad was like, he's always wanted to race. And he's doing the iRacing. And he just caught that lucky break. And he's proven himself.
Right.
I mean, he's had two crazy races.
Well, William Byron was an iRacer, so
Yeah,
look where
yeah.
he's at.
Yeah. Everyone's, yeah, I think so. I mean, I didn't, but hey,
I didn't. I was up. I've had a few pops.
I didn't get in until 3 a.m. this morning, if that tells y'all anything. So I slept into like 11, and I was like, man, I still feel like crap though, because I don't know, my legs are just killing me. I was like, those guys, you can tell they have to be fit to walk around and do all that crap, because I would be dead. I'm, I'm not in shape anyway, so what am I talking about? But yeah, it was an okay race.
We also
No,
had Clements with a 10th place.
his first top 10 of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And now we was talking just a bit ago about the pit strategies, and I don't know if people that are watching now or watching later know what we're talking about there, but there was a caution right before the end of the first stage, and some cars came in instead of going and finishing where they would have in that stage. They came in, and so everybody cycled around. I'm sorry, this would have been the end of second stage. So there was a lot of drivers getting stage points. Landon Castle was second, Clemens was third, Brandon Brown was fourth, David Starr was fifth. So there you have four drivers that were in the top five of stage two getting valuable stage points that wouldn't have otherwise if that strategy wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of leads back to kind of like what were they doing that at Richmond last week, playing the pit game. At
Yes.
Richmond, yeah, they were playing that, kind of leading back. And Roger says he was 10 toes up, very comfortable. Yeah, Roger didn't prepare for the weather up there, and he wore a thin jacket, and he was about froze. Good old Roger. I do want to say this. It just popped into my mind. Thanks to the 5 people, I'm terrible with names. I had 5 people come up to me over the weekend. Talking about they was a subscriber, and it amazes me. It seems like every time I'm going to like an autograph event or something, I'll see somebody. Now, some of them are the same people, but it's good that these people are noticing me. So it's weird when it first happens, but it's kind of grown on me now. And I think I met 2 people in the garage yesterday, and I do apologize for not knowing their channel name or their name in general, because I don't remember now. I feel terrible, but you know who you are, and I do appreciate it. So there that is. But yeah, overall, we got to get into the real topic though, and that Xfinity.
Well, before we do, I'm surprised nobody brought this one up. He dumped at least 2 people during the race. Joe Graff Jr. What you guys think?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he was a man on a mission, man. He's like, I'm Cole Custer one in my car now.
And it was just like he didn't even try to. It looked like he didn't even try to stop or make the turn or whatever. The two drivers, and I'm not. Let's see here. The 99 was Stefan Harsons was the first one, and I'm not seeing the second one, but I do know that he was into at least 2 people.
Yeah, I remember that one. Maybe that one didn't bring out a caution.
It may not have, or it's just it may have just been the end of the stage. It's hard to say, but I do know that he did get into 2 people at some point. Didn't he have a ride with Childers a few years ago part time?
Who was that now?
Joe Graff Jr. Like a very very part time Xfinity ride, like 3 or 4 races.
I can't remember. I know that Shane Lee did.
Yeah, I remember Shane Lee did and did reasonably well.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking Joe Graff.
I don't know about Joe Graff. It seems like he did though, because I've got a hero card of that. It seems like
because it was like the 21 car, I think, because that was kind of their revolving door car.
You were right, because they done that. I think that was the year that they were celebrating 50 years, because I remember getting the hero card from that. And didn't South Point sponsor that one of those rides?
See here, they were on the 62 of Brendan Gaughan when he was with Childress, and then they went to the. They did go with when Hemrick drove them.
Yeah, Hemrick was with them too. So I don't know why I'm drawing them to Joe Graff. I don't know. At least I got the sponsor right with the team. That's close enough. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I want to show Roger this while we're on Xfinity.
Yeah, he was part of RCR's driver development program. He ran 5 races for the team.
Let me see if I can do this.
Michigan, Iowa, Richmond. And then in 2020, he went to SS Greenlight.
It may
Because
be
I just remember there being a big deal about Joe Graff Jr. having a D&Q in a Childress car, and then there were other teams that were less funded than him, making the race under qualifying.
And all right, here's what I want to do real quick before we move on. Roger says even he had an autograph request. Yeah, he did. I think he signed that American Legion magazine. I told him, I said, we got an autograph signing gonna happen, I think today at 2:00, but with you and Luigi, and he started laughing. I wanted to show Roger this though. I don't know if it's gonna pick the audio, and it may not even show it up. I'm gonna kind of do it up so he can see it. Hold on, let's see. Let's see how clear this will be. Here we go.
What's up, everybody? It's Jesse Wuji, and I wanted to give a huge shout out to Danny and Gray's Cars and Toys. They're out here at Martinsville Speedway. We got a wonderful race this weekend coming up with the Xfinity Series race. Should be pretty fun. Thank you all for tuning in to this channel.
Yeah, I got that for Roger because I said I know he likes Jesse a lot, so he'll enjoy seeing him on some of the videos. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Roger even got a request. Danny, did you ever see Tyler Young? I never saw Tyler. I looked for him, never did. I don't know. They were in hiding, I guess, but never did. So let's get to the real topic on the that fight. We've held off. We all got to talk about that. I think we may all be on the same page of that. What y'all's take?
If you're gonna throw punches, take that helmet off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Or expect to get wrecked when you're being a friggin' bully every race.
Yeah. Like John Hunter was not supposed to do anything to him the week before, which he didn't. But when he gets it done to him, it's a whole different game. Come on now.
Yep.
I don't know. He's 19 years old. I mean, I guess that's a what's an immaturity level type situation deal, or just basically being a sore loser.
He's always been a big fish in a small pond. Now he's not as big of a fish, and the pond's getting a lot bigger. So I think that's a couple things that's happening.
And you know what's crazy is, man, we've praised that guy on this show every single episode about how good and how aggressive he is. But then he does something like this. That's unacceptable to me. I mean, I think I would have been a little more okay with it if he freaking took his helmet off. And then you see the interview with Sam Mayer, and he has like scratches under his eye. You could tell no one brought this up, but at the end of like his third punch, he opened his hand and like swiped and scratched his face. Like that's where those little marks came from.
Well, I don't know if you guys realize it or not, but physically, Sam Mayer has a black eye now. I'll tell you that.
I've seen it. There was a meme going around on Twitter today. It was a picture, and it'd been taken, several weeks ago. It was Kyle Busch and Ty Gibbs standing side by side, and somebody had wrote in the caption, "Here is the most hated driver in NASCAR, and standing beside him is Kyle Busch."
Yeah, I mean, hey, NASCAR's got their sworn enemy number one coming up through the ranks, just in time to replace sworn enemy number one in the Cup Series. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Kyle Busch, it's just popped into my head, and where I was down there this weekend on Saturday for the Cup race, they're walking. These people's always walking around. They're going to their seats. Well, come walking up in a Kyle Busch. It was one of those costumes, like for Halloween, and he was looking around. Well, he looked over at us, and the big mean faces of the baby, and it looks like he's like crying face.
Yeah,
it was wearing it, and it looked like that was the head, and he was in Kyle Busch's fire suit. Everybody was taking pictures, stopping, wanting pictures with him. people are praising him, yelling, "You suck, you blah blah blah," and everybody. It's just hilarious. It's awesome. By the way, Josh, I got you some credit. I kind of basically said what you said the other week on Reddit. I was gonna read it. Let's see, where's it at? And it lit up. Where's my comment? So they said Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer met for about 10 minutes in the NASCAR hauler. NASCAR's Wayne Alton told The Athletic that Gibbs and Mayer shook hands on their accord before leaving the hauler. People was in the comments talk about, well, there'll probably be retaliation. They just do that just to make amends and move on. And I was like, is this not a guy that each time he wins, this being Ty, the first words he says, "I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ." Not bringing religious into this whole deal here. I said, but that's not very Christian-like. And the way he does, practically, he's being a hypocrite. You need to practice what you preach, bud. That thing lit up. It's got over 100 likes. And there's this guy that said, let's not bring religion into it. But then he says this, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a long thing. He got like 50 thumbs downs. Nobody even liked it because it was just stupid what the guy said back. But I mean, so there you go. I said what you said last week on there. And it is stupid the way he acts. So practice what you preach.
And he freaking wrecked up his race car to like
Well, he's
rear-ended him.
Destroyed the front end.
Yeah, he's driving like a dingling.
But he's driving for Grandpa, Josh.
Well, that's everybody's point.
So what's Joe Gibbs gonna do? You're in detention. You're not driving next week, Ty. Come on.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Now, Josh, you watched the race live, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When they took the checkered flag and FS1 cut to Joe Gibbs, that look on Joe Gibbs' face was absolutely priceless. It was
it was like
what happened?
Yeah, it was like blank. Like
because one of his cars won, but he wasn't happy about it. He was like, what just happened? It's just like he had a stroke. He was just blank.
Yeah.
I mean, did he not want Brandon to win? Was he not happy about it, or what? It's just he wanted Ty to win. Is what you're saying?
No, he's happy that Brandon won, but the repercussions of his company are going to be greater for what his grandson just did than that win.
Okay,
so that's number one on his mind is damage control. Instead of going to celebrate a win, it's damage control at that point.
And it's a good thing Stewart drove for him for 10 years because he got a lot of practice in that.
Well, and then now you have Busch and Hamlin, and dude, somehow that guy has gotten every a-hole driver in the known NASCAR world.
Well, my question to y'all about Joe is: do you think he had a little talk with Gibbs about the way he reacted after the race and his image and everything? Or
I think the way that Joe Gibbs is probably trying to approach it is as a family matter versus a business matter. That would be my opinion. He would probably go up to him as grandpa, not car owner, and say, "Hey, dude, like that wasn't cool."
And he would probably, for more of the business part of it, I'm guessing he'd probably have Jimmy Maycar or somebody else handle, that part of it.
Yeah. But you gotta think though, like my grandpa has built this team for 30-something years, maybe 40 years. I don't know exactly.
30 years. This is 30 years this year.
Okay, and now my little pipsqueak butt is gonna ruin his whole reputation. I mean, I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't like it because I'd feel like I'd have to walk on eggshells. I wouldn't want to drive for my grandpa. But
you have to watch and do everything, like you're saying. Yep. Well, I guess that's in a nutshell. What was the top 5 on that one? And did points change too? I don't know if y'all
go ahead, Octane.
Okay. Jones was the winner, of course. Castle was second. Josh had mentioned that, and AJ Allmendinger got the bonus money in third. Austin Hill was fourth, so that's a big. I don't want to call it a surprise, but it was a pleasant run for Austin Hill. And Sam Mayer, who had an opportunity to win, shuffled back to fifth there on that last lap. No big surprises in the top 10. Ryan Truex got a seventh, and of course you mentioned Sieg and Clemens ninth and 10th. As far as points, yeah, he just continues to. He's real consistent in that 8th to 12th place this year.
I would say though that the top 20 was a surprise. So you have Gregson Berry 19th and 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
And then
you almost beat me.
And then you've got Matt Mills at 18th,
Mm-hmm.
Bailey Curry at 17th, Weatherman at 16th, LeBay at 15th, Alfredo 14th. Like right there, those 6-7 positions are a big surprise.
But how many of those positions squeaked by in that crash? They were the ones that were stopped behind the crash on the front stretch.
Right.
So
yeah, let's don't forget that.
That's part of the game, though. At
yes, it
Martinsville.
is. Yes, it
Hey,
is.
speaking of games, when that wreck, when I seen that, see, I was here for the end of that, so I saw
Mhm.
that. When they showed that image of the backstretch, I said, "Hey, that's NASCAR 21 ignition in real life." Remember how that looked, Josh? I told you how it does.
Mhm.
Grayson was like, "Yeah, that's just like they do on the game."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah."
You're probably seeing all that happen on TV, saying, "Oh man, I shouldn't have left."
Oh, trust me. When I saw that, and more so when I saw the fight, I was like, "Man, I was right there."
That's almost like going to a baseball game and you're leaving because your team's getting creamed, and then the next inning they come back and win it.
Yep. Speaking of that night, I actually was on the verge of like carbon monoxide poisoning because I was sitting in a chair. Josh knows
Because you're
about
a
this.
ding dong, dude.
Idiot. I'm sitting in a fold out chair, and you know how those Honda generators and you got all that noise, they're quiet running generators, anyways. And I'm like, I don't feel right. And I look to my right because it's covered up. All you can, they've got it like wrapped up where the weather and stuff wouldn't get to it. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a generator running right here this entire time. And I felt sick. I mean, it was terrible. But no, not to do that again.
Tell
But
them how long you were literally inhaling generator fumes.
for at least over an hour.
I see Roger commented here, and I forgot about this about Junior taking out
Yeah,
Josh
I forgot
Berry.
about that too.
Hey, and it was good to see Junior, class act guy, in a very good mood. Not for just autographs, but you could tell he was so happy to be there. I really have grown. That guy has grown on me in the last 2 or 3 years. Just kind of going down to the download, and then just you kind of get you see the more family side of him, I guess, so to speak. He's not the old Junior he used to be before he retired. He's
We
just
could
not.
I could segue into your story if you want. I mean, he did the opposite of what Jeff Gordon's do.
What is that? Is it time for that before we
I don't
go into it?
know. I mean, that was about all the race there.
I mean, we got 4 people watching. There'll be a standalone video about Gordon, but my God, guys, it's going to be a shock to everybody. I don't know how to tell this story in condensed. You think you could take the ranks? Oh my God.
Well, no matter what you say is always longer than what you say it's going to be. So
Yeah.
just a
Long
minute.
story.
It'll be just a minute. Just a minute.
Yeah. Where do I begin? I go to the track because you guys know that I have the 2015 Martinsville color chrome that I bought. Yes, y'all know, for $400. Call me an idiot, but it's a car I really wanted. It's a special car to me. Obviously, I've been a Gordon fan since I was 3. And I mean, I had Easter baskets, Christmas wrapping paper, Gordon, you name it. I've done it over the years, and I've always looked up to the guy. Even in 5th grade, when it was right about your hero day, I wrote about Gordon. I mean, just it goes on and on. And then I show up to the track. He's not in a driver role anymore. We know that. He's just the president over there under bunch of people, other people, whatnot. And I got my Rainbow Warrior car from the Evernham days, and I got the, color chrome. And I'm going to get these cars signed this weekend. And it didn't happen until leading up to Sunday. Yes, guys, I got them signed, but it's the process behind it. First off, I went up with 2 cars. I had this one pointed more kind of like that, and this one pulled back. Gordon grabs this car and just, it's like this car is totally invisible, and signs this one. Well, just so you guys know, that's the signature I got. Trash, in my opinion. It could have been better. But I'm thankful at least I got it. So moving on, I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I'm totally lost for words because I'm still sitting with this car, and I'm like, now I'm going to have to worry about this all night. Just to show how much dedication I had for Gordon, I missed out on a lot of signatures that I probably could have gotten just because I wanted to get this Gordon car signed. I'll give you guys my total for Saturday. That was 20 autographs. Y'all know that's not me.
It could have been 200.
Yeah. 20 autographs Saturday. Long story short, I got the Gordon. Josh, you want to take the reins and tell him what happened?
Well, because you talked to me on the phone a few times during the whole process. Hold on one second.
Bless
Sorry,
you on that one.
No, I got like a cough or cold or
wow.
something. So you're waiting at the hauler. I call you, and you're like, "Hold on, I think he's coming out. I'll call you back." So then, after a couple hours, I didn't hear from you. So I text you. I'm like, "I hope you got your car signed." Or I said, "You better have gotten your car signed." So you call me, dude. I'm so mad. Well, I'll censor all the words. I'm so mad. He wouldn't grab my Martinsville car, and then he signed 2 things for everybody else, and then I'm yelling for him that he missed the car, and he just blew me off. I'm like, oh well, that sucks. But then later in the day we talked because he's got to walk to all the teams or to pit road, and he's blowing you off while you're walking with him to have him sign that car. And then what was it, Victory Lane? Well, you stood during the whole race. You stood there
I stood behind Chase Elliott's pit box to watch that race just so I could kind of watch that race. Plus, I wanted to keep a beeline on Gordon because I was determined. I was like, hey, I want to get this car signed. This is my only hope that I know for the foreseeable future of it. And I'm standing there. I never once bothered him during the time. He came down 3 times off of that pit box, twice for Gatorades. No, once for Gatorade, twice to check tires after they would scrape them and check for numbers and how the wear was. Never once stepped forward to try to bother the guy or anything. He comes down for Byron's win, making the walk over to Victory Lane. I'm like, well, this guy's on an all-time high right now. He should be in a heck of a mood. Boy, did I get fooled. I'm walking, and I got the car pulled, and I got my pen ready, and I'm right here. And here's what he does, guys. Man, get out of here. And I'm like, okay, I respected him. Move back. Go to Victory Lane. I'm like, this is my last chance. This is it.
Oh, I talked you into it.
Yeah. He was like, you need to pour your guts out to this guy. I'm like, what? How far do I go? He's like, whatever it takes.
Go as far as you need to go.
So I go over there. I'm respecting the entire process. I never once acted out or done anything stupid. Mind you, 2 or 3 people's done gotten stuff signed from him during that process that he told me to get out of here. And I'm like, really, dude? I'm just wanting this one car, and you're like being like that. But comes off a Victory Lane stage. What's up, Jamie Williams?
Hi, Jamie.
Dude, you'll spam it. And what's up, the hobbyist? Comes off a Victory Lane stage, and there's a guy there with his hat like this. And he's like, hey, Jeff, what's up? What's up? Will you sign my hat? He's going to grab his pen. guys, I don't normally cuss. I said, oh, hell no. No. So I come around and I got the car and I'm leaned over. And he's like, just, I got to get, because I quoted it. I want to
He
quote him
said,
right. He says, you in this car tonight is really being a pain in my ass. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Jeff? He's like, you just won't stop. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand what this car means to me. And furthermore, you don't understand what this place means to me. I've watched every one of your wins either being in those stands or in these pits. And I was there for that one. As a kid, me being a fan and then seeing your last win, come on, dude. He's like, why am I supposed to believe all that? I'm like, I don't know what else to tell you, dude. He's like, ha, ha. And then he finally grabs the marker, signs it, and then kind of just tosses it back and ignores me. And I'm like, well, whatever. So stepping away from that fact, I was really upset. I was honestly hurt. I mean, you take your over
dude,
95% of your
it's
life.
like, yeah, it's a lifetime investment. It's a lifetime, like, yeah, it's not a relationship with the person
He doesn't
personally or
physically
anything,
know who I am. I
right?
respect that.
But it's a lifetime relationship that you've had with this guy, this superstar or this race car driver. It's someone you've looked up to your entire life. And yeah, okay, so I get that you're older now, you're in your mid-20s, but that doesn't take away the fact that when I was 3, I was still like your fan. I'm still
Yep.
your fan now. I'm sorry I'm not this kid trying to get this car signed anymore. I'm in my mid-20s, but yeah, this car means so much to me that I've literally wasted my entire day to get you to sign this.
Well, if this means anything, the last day I spent with my dad at Martinsville, my dad brought me a Gordon coat. I'd always wanted one of the coats that has the patches, looks like the fire suit.
Mhm.
And it kind of just gets me emotional a little bit just talking about it here. But I was like, I was Christmas morning all over again when I got that coat. And I slept in that coat. My mom will tell you for 3 weeks straight. She's like, son, we got to wash the coat. So I don't know. It happens. I know I'm not the first that it's ever happened to, whether it be Gordon or whoever, but it's just a bad experience. And I wish him all the best. I mean, but as far going forward, I'm not buying any of his cars.
It's
I'm
it's
not
like,
going out of the way for it.
and it's thousands and thousands of dollars you've invested in collecting. Like,
Everybody here
uh,
knows how
It
many cards I got of them and what I've spent.
you could almost call it sweat equity.
yeah,
No,
it's
no, it's
just,
just, I don't know. We
and
can
there,
harp on it.
there's some guys you expect that with, especially if you're a current active driver. Like, you've
Well,
got
if he just climbed out
obligations.
of a
You've
race car or
right,
was racing that day, I could totally expect that. But
right.
I said this to you and I said it to Roger and I've said it to my wife, everybody else I've talked to about this leading up to tonight. If that one comment about the you being a pain in my butt, but fill in the blank, if that wouldn't have been said, I don't think I would have walked away like I did, feeling the way I felt as much. To me, I just felt totally disrespected. It could have been left out, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't want to, sound like a baby on here, but not calling any names. There were some individuals in the track over the weekend. I saw him hammer at least 5 or 6 for them, and they're all resellers. And that's what bothers me too. So they know who they are, and if they watch this, screw you guys. That's my real feeling about that, but whatever.
It's the same thing up here at Indy when I go down there to the track. If there's an autograph session or being in the pits or the garage, I see the same group of 6 or 8 people that have 2 or 3 backpacks full of diecast that I know that are going on eBay that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, when we were at Martinsville, we had it was a backpack, but it had little wheels on the bottom, so we'd have to carry it around the whole time. But it's not like a duffel bag or anything like that. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I ended up getting over 300 something autographs that weekend, but that was a lot of work I put into doing that, and I haven't sold a single one of them. Anything. Like I just like the stuff.
Now,
So
granted,
like
I have auctions on here and I do those things, but I only do that
to
just
clean
to
the
kind of,
house, just yeah.
yeah, I got to move some stuff, but yeah.
And you're not making money. You're literally just fire saling things to get out of the way so you can make room for more junk, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
basically. But hey, on this car, I did get Alan Gustafson too. So that's actually a sweet piece now. But
well,
you
you
know,
probably have one of one right there now.
well, yeah, I'd like to get Hendrick on it. That would be sweet.
Dude.
But now all that happened. I made that diorama. I made all that. It's and the excitement behind. I know we need to move on and talk about the cup, and we will in a second. We may go overboard, special edition show or whatever. But all the excitement for me to get this car signed, that was my all-time high goal I wanted to do for that to happen. It's almost like I don't even care. Does that make sense?
Let me ask you this. So the next time you see Larson, are you gonna say something to him?
About that?
Yeah, I don't think I would.
I don't want to, no.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
Because
kind of his
then he might be
son.
like, well, you're talking about my boss like that.
No, but hey, even more now, I appreciate my relationship I have with that guy. Granted, who knows, one day it might happen too, but I don't see it because just it's different. And by the way, the guy that's at the pits there, I'm kind of giving inside information now. I get whatever, who cares? The guy that's usually there pitting with him, if you saw him, you would know who he is. He comes up to me, talks to me, fist bumps me. He's like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "You're that guy, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm him." He's like, "I thought so." He's like, "My son's just fascinated with the cars that you bring in down there for him." And he said Larson's even said, "It's really cool what you do." And I'm like, "Yeah, I
Who is this?
it's the guy that helps them in the pits at Millbridge."
Oh, I didn't know he had a guy.
Yeah, he brings the cart there for them and he stores it in
Oh,
their trailer. They
gotcha.
pit with them, so to speak.
Yeah, so okay, so he doesn't have to worry about haul and everything there. He can
Yeah,
just
his
show
son
up and
races the
yeah.
micros. They ran some last year and they're running this year. And what was cool, I left early the other week. They actually had matching suits. Him and Larson did, his son. So that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. Walking away from the whole Gordon thing, you heard it first. I'm not buying any more of his cars for sure. And for the foreseeable future with Panini, what cards I pull, yeah, I'll stick them in my book. But it's almost, I can't believe I'm saying it. Like I don't even care anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, let's move on and talk about the cup.
Now you'll pull a friggin' like autograph or something of them, and
Probably.
then you'll be like, oh my god.
I don't know. If I
Hey,
pulled it tomorrow, I wouldn't.
maybe I'm not trying to sound mean, but I'm a big karma guy. Maybe this was karma for your April Fools, dude.
Oh, maybe. Wow. You could be right there. Who knows? We just talked about that for 20 minutes. We're at like almost 8. We'll go overboard because we were late coming on.
Well, the cup race wasn't too
Hey, we don't
eventful
have
though,
much to
so
talk about in the cup race except for
yeah.
it was boring.
This cup race reminded me, and I don't know if it does with you two, but a couple of years ago, it had to be, I think it was 2019 when Keselowski won, when they had the huge spoilers on the back. That's what this Martinsville race reminded me of.
No
There was
one could
literally
pass
no one could
at all.
pass.
I seen a Blaney interview. He was talking about somebody, you couldn't even bump people. You couldn't get to people. You couldn't move nobody because the composite cars,
Yeah, they literally said you had to like run them over to just move them out of the way. Like it was pretty bad.
We went from some of the best racing, over the past few weeks to the worst. This had to be the worst race they've ran all year. I mean,
Yeah, I would agree. Richmond and this one, I felt were probably the two dullest races all year.
So to break it down, NASCAR wants to go back to their roots of short track racing, and then they bring out a car that you can't short track race at.
Ding ding, right there. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, man.
hey, I say for like Bristol, it's on dirt. You bring back the previous cars for some action, beating and banging. Martinsville, do it the same. I mean, it's just I don't know. You can't go and do that, but it would be cool. I did see where they were wanting to
Do
do
you
the
guys?
window nets, like the
Yeah.
screen windows, but they didn't pass it.
Do you guys miss seeing wrecks and mangled up sheet metal? I kind of do.
Yeah, I know
Because
there were
they
really
wreck and
bad.
they wreck and they just bounce now. They don't even crumble or nothing. They just bounce.
Let's see what he said. Hold on.
It,
Oh yeah, yeah. The media moderator, he's met a lot of people. I watch his channel. I enjoy the TTM returns. He's right. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess right now I'm kind of down on it, but I may come back up eventually. But
Well,
maybe not.
that's like me meeting Harvick at a certain location, and he came up like I waited for him for what was it, 20 minutes, almost 30 minutes. We just stood there,
Yeah, just waiting.
and he walks over. He's like, "Hey, I don't come to this place to do this." And I'm like, "Oh crap." I'm like, yeah, we're getting the Harvick everybody's used to. And
Yeah,
then I didn't even think. I literally just came back. And I'm like, I'm such a huge fan. I have over 1,000 different cards of you. It's awesome meeting you. And then he signed my stuff and then took a picture with me. So it wasn't. I mean, I think if they can tell that you're really genuine, then they lighten up a little bit. I just think they like you get to a point where you're like, okay, like a lot of times they're like, hey, don't worry, I'm not going to sell this. All right, you better not sell this. Well, what's it to them if you sell something and make a little money off of them? I I think maybe though that they've been taken advantage of forever is maybe where they get that mentality from. But me personally, I don't sell anything. If anything, I just trade stuff for
yeah.
things. But
Well, the media moderator says sometimes they just have a bad day, just like us. I don't think he had a bad day. They won. So what was the excuse? But with me pouring my guts out like that, and then we'll finish up on the cup. Maybe I gave him something to think about walking away a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Took me 12 years to get a picture with Dan Marino. That's cool though. I don't know. Like I said though, on the deal with him, if he would have left out what he said there, that was unnecessary. I probably wouldn't have walked away feeling as bad as I did. It's just the whole disrespect that I got. And I never once disrespected him the entire situation. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they even care either. They make so much money. I never saw Emmett Smith either in the pits. I thought I might see him pop up with the Woogie, but no, never saw him. Never did. Touching bases, I think that's it on the cup, right? Other than looked like Chase Elliott was basically running away with the show there for the longest time. He led 185 laps of the
yeah,
400.
and then Byron's pit crew got him out ahead of him that one stop, and that was
Yeah,
the
and then
end of.
they did have the one issue where Truex had the flat. What was the
Yeah,
deal with that? Because I saw that flash up on the big screen.
they
Uh,
they never even got back to that because they were like, oh, we're gonna get back to
hey,
see what happened with
I'm gonna
that. They
mute
never did.
myself for a second.
All right,
I gotta do this real quick.
but they never. I don't know what that was about. They said they were gonna get back to let us know what happened. I think they chalked it up to a piece of debris.
yeah,
I
there
know
was
they were.
nothing that was ever said.
Yeah. But the big surprise in the top 5 would be Austin Dillon.
He had a great long run car. His car just seemed to
crazy
come
good.
in.
Yeah. That is when he took care of it, though. At the end of the race, he burned it up, and he didn't have that long run speed. But you kind of understand that you're fighting for the win. So
he was going for the win, and Ross Chastain was 5th, and not really a surprise. But we're 8 races in. Ross Chastain has 5 top 5 finishes. He leads the series in top 5 finishes. We could have put serious money down that after 8 races, Ross Chastain would have had the most top 5s, and we'd be sitting pretty good money wise. So,
and Kurt Busch,
Hey,
he's
real
always
quick,
good.
somebody wants to say something to Roger. I got him on the line. Maybe he'll be able to hear this. All right, Randy.
Is this the famous Weeble Wobbles from Junior Motorsports?
All right, Randy, I'll catch you later. He done that because that's what Randy calls Roger Weebles Wobbles from calling it Richard Petty. I mean, Richard Petty Junior Motorsports. That's funny. But sorry, I cut away there for a second. He was telling me he's gonna call me after the fact. Yeah, take care, media moderator. Do appreciate you stopping in. As always, I enjoy your channel there, and I do appreciate you stopping in. No, is that it on the cup? I wasn't even paying attention to what y'all were saying.
There's really not a lot to the Cup race. It was just overall, I thought it was a boring race. Looking at the results here, and something that I had put out on Twitter, and I don't know if you guys noticed this. Kurt Busch was sponsored by McDonald's.
Yeah.
2 years ago, when he took over the one car from McMurray, it may have been 3 years ago. McDonald's was like, whoa, we don't want any part of him. They hopped over to Larson in the 42. Now they want to be partnered back up with Kurt Busch. What I want to know what changed.
And he did an appearance at the McDonald's in Martinsville.
Huh, wow.
Yeah, he was there
that was really
cooking, and he was there signing autographs, signing French fry boxes. Like, yeah, it was a big
Happy Meal
production.
boxes and everything.
It's just weird. It's just weird that corporate, there's that big corporate swing because they did not want to be associated with him because of his past. But that's what it was. It was the past. Kurt has, evolved into, I think, a pretty mellow driver now compared to what he was back in 2010, 2005, and so forth.
Well, I'll tell you, his attitude in person when you get his autograph is
top notch. He's super cool.
Yeah. Yep. And it was funny. Natalie Decker showed up to get his autograph too.
She stood in line to get his autograph at McDonald's.
She did. And I know Kevin Smith was there, Josh, and he said that Kurt was just nice as could be. And then Natalie came in, and I think his daughter, Taylor, you know who I'm talking about? You saw her down there at Bristol, I believe. The kind of older girl there. She watches Natalie, and then she got to talking to her while they're going through the line together and everything. That's kind of cool there. And I think Natalie signed a hero card for Kurt. And they signed it together, and then she kept one and he kept the other one. But they had him behind the counter and everything up front, from what I heard. That was cool. All right, I guess we can wrap it up. We ain't too long, about 8 minutes.
Well, are we still concerned about Toyota? I mean, their car, I don't know.
Had a terrible race.
Their cars are so hit or miss this year right now.
In Cup, they're hit or miss. They're pretty dominant in Xfinity. So
yeah. Where did Denny end up at? I know he was in the back.
28th.
28th.
Wow. And you picked Truex there, Josh. Wound up 22nd. I noticed that. My God, I thought he would have done way better than
that. That flat tire.
Yeah, had that flat hurt him.
Brand new tire.
They said they did say when he was going around with that flat, they did wonder if the valve stem didn't get knocked off.
Right, and they were going to ask, could that even happen with the single lug? And they never came back to it. They never said anything about anything.
Well, I don't know if y'all said anything while I was talking to him on the phone, during the night, the process, they would change the tires. I was at LH Pit Box. Gustafson come over there to us, me and that guy, and he was, it was kind of quiet there for a second. He said, "We just don't have no wear. There's no wear there." He said, "We got a ton of scuffs. If cautions come out, we'll throw them back." And you could see it when the guy would how they do the fire, they do the torch and scrape it. You could still see the holes. They was not even wore down after all those laps. But Roger says, "Love those tires. Can't wait to put them on my truck." What's he talking about? Those
single lug tires.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Yeah. Those cars in person, though, up close, they really do look cool. And that diffuser is just wicked looking in the back. And
dude, I tell you what, that Byron car, I might buy that thing. I might have to buy that.
That Raptor.
That is a sweet looking car. That looks
it's got
awesome.
like I don't know how I was trying to explain it to you. It was glittering in the light, but it's also got like a hammered, like you go and buy the hammered paint spray. That's what it's got, like a look to it.
Well,
it's literally.
That company's a bedliner company, so I think they tried probably replicating the bedliner look on that
texture.
Yeah, and that looks sweet. I really like the green tape around the grills on the front. Man, I really like that whole thing.
Do you guys know if Axalta is still painting those cars for the 24? Because I know for the longest time they actually painted those. That wasn't a wrap. Do you know?
I have
no idea.
Do you guys even know that? Did y'all know that?
I had heard that, yes, that the Axalta cars for a while were painted versus being wrapped.
Yeah, and that's like Allgaier's cars are painted too, red. They're not wrapped.
Yeah.
Brandt specifically has that in their contract that the car needs to be painted, not wrapped.
All right. Well, I guess that is it, right? For
we got to make our picks.
We got to make our picks. I'm saying that's it though on the.
Okay,
the
gotcha.
Yeah. Gotta make our picks. Xfinity's taking a week off. They come back at Dega. Doesn't the Dash for Cash? It's Dega, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dash for Cash is also there, right?
I believe it is.
Yes.
Who qualified for that?
Wasn't it I saw Mayor.
Well, the four for Talladega will be Brandon Jones, Landon Castle, Allmendinger, and Austin Hill.
Yeah.
Interesting. And going into Dega, you never know who's going to win it. So every man for himself. It's all equal playing field out there for him. So that could be really interesting too. But we'll be back to that, not next week, but the week after with our picks for that. But we've got the trucks and Cup at Bristol this weekend, dirt. So what's your take, Mr. Sundberg? You got both picks.
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed doing this, but can I just pick whoever's going to be in the 51 truck? I don't know who's in there. I just the 51
Buddy
truck.
Cofield is actually going to be in the 51.
Oh, really?
Kofoid.
Yeah. So a World Outlaw guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that then.
Hey, guys, he just said it. Now he's taking it back.
I didn't even put any thought into this, honestly, this week, because every time I try thinking about it, I'm in last place. So
that's a Cup pick there, Raj. Are you still being sarcastic? Because he says BJ McLeod wins. Come on, Raj.
Man, who came second to Truex last year?
I don't know. I can't help you.
Fine, I'll just waste time and look it up.
No, I'll look. Let's see. Hold on. Rhodes was second. Lassard third. Todd Gillen fourth. Briscoe fifth. I don't think Briscoe's running it though.
Well, there we go. Ben Rhodes.
Rhodes?
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, Ben Rhodes. All right, looks like I got second pick in this. I think because he won the Cup race last year, and he's obviously going to be in the 54 for DGR. For some reason, I'm feeling Logano. I'm going with Logano. We'll see what that Planet Fitness truck's got. And you've actually got an open field there. You got still quite a few names that I was going to pick. There, Octane.
And Logano this has got to be one of the only truck starts he's ever made. I don't recall him making very many truck starts in the past.
Not too many.
Did he run with BK Racing back in the day?
I don't think so. I'm not. It's drawn a blank. I know Blaney did, and I know obviously Reddick and Hemrick did.
Cindric did too.
And Cindric, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he did either. I don't think he's ran any. I don't know.
Well, this track. This track is so new, and it's so there's so many unknowns that somebody that's been running good this year. I'm gonna go with Tanner Gray.
He was one of my picks. My other picks, if something got, all right, Tanner Gray. I also, on my list, I don't know if y'all had any more that you were willing to maybe say or take. I had Zane Smith, Stuart Friesen, because we know how Friesen is on dirt. He's really good at it. Plus, his wife's running. Hopefully, she runs well. And I even had on my list Buddy Kofoy. I mean, he's a dirt guy. You just don't ever know.
Yeah, but those trucks, I mean, I feel like it doesn't
handle the same.
Yeah,
it's like when a road ringer comes in for a road course.
Yep.
I mean, look at like Larson and stuff in the Cup car last year.
Yep.
I don't know.
All right, moving on to we didn't have any viewer picks. Roger said BJ McLeod, but he is joking. He says I'll eat my words on the new car. Nobody else. I tell you, if Roger shows up when we go to that week 18 to the end of the year every week and makes a pick, the man knows he's got him a hobby box. So these people need to get in here. I don't know. Anyways, viewer picks. Anybody want to pick one? I don't guess. I haven't seen any chime in. We've kind of, I think, screwed everybody up being here on Sunday, and I kind of tried to make it.
And not scheduling it, but whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. Last minute. I guess we'll move to the Cup. Josh, you get first dibs on that.
I got two names here, just looking at the previous last year. I'm going to go with Reddick.
That's decent.
I think it'll be his first win. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. He came in 7th. I was going to go with Wreckham Ricky, but I make fun of him too much that he probably wouldn't win in spite.
Well, you got to admit, though, Ricky is pretty good on dirt.
Yeah, he finished second last year.
Finished second there, and he runs he's run, sprint races, stuff like that on dirt, World Outlaws, whatnot. So he definitely knows how to get around the dirt, for sure. I'm obviously going last with my win, so Octane, you get second pick.
Well, you guys were just talking about him, Ricky Stenhouse. I'm going to go with him, not because he had a second place last year on the dirt, but because he's had multiple second places at Bristol over the years.
Yeah.
I know that Bristol seems to be his best non-super speedway track.
Yeah, for sure. Well, all my picks, y'all took 2 of them there. That's pretty good. Interesting there. I got my other 2. My gut wants to go with Larson, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm leaning towards Larson. But I don't want to definitely pick. We had Truex. He won the trucks last year. I don't know.
Yeah, but he finished 19th in the Cup race last year.
I'm going to say this. Logano sweeps the weekend. He's on top. He's on top of my list. I say Logano does it again. Logano sweeps the weekend in my book. And then you can go buy you another sweet set diecast. Speaking of sweet diecast, Josh, they had a line nail today. I went down and got the Wave 13. And no, I couldn't get you anything because they only got 25 boxes. and everything was gone. Luckily, I got what I got for us. But seen the sweep set for Michigan for Harvick. What is there? 2 cars in that set, right?
Mhm.
$175.99
Yep.
for that set. I was like, man, wow. But that's our picks. Any viewer picks this week? Well, there's Roger. He says, okay, for real, Ross Chastain wins the Cup race. All right. So Chastain, Roger's the only one picking every week. Hopefully he does that coming soon, and he'll basically be getting all the points. So it is what it is. I guess that's the show, though, in a nutshell. We'll see what happens. No, Josh will be there, so I
Yep.
may have to cover his butt next week. Well, you'll be there. You'll be in the stands, but it's still not the same, you know. So hopefully, I do get to see you. I'm still on the fence line. They haven't said anything, and I don't know how the weather's looking
Well, it
now.
looks
for
like
that.
so. I looked at the weather Saturday. It's supposed to just like rain a little bit in the morning, and then it said there shouldn't be any rain the rest of the day.
Right.
Right. But if for some reason it does get rained out, I think they would be able to fit everything in on Sunday.
Yeah. But I'll for sure be there on Saturday, guys. So if there's somebody watching and you're hanging, I'll be getting autographs.
So
on
you are
Friday.
coming Saturday now?
I don't know. I know for Friday for sure.
Oh, you just said I'd for sure be there Saturday.
Oh,
You
well,
just-
Friday. I'm
Oh.
still like brain farting from yesterday, whatever, the weekend. No, I will be for sure there Friday, and it's fence line Saturday, just because that's my ride there, and I don't really know if I want to chance that taking that car that far, because the last time we done it, Roger Riggs is here. He will tell you that you do not want to be in that blue Kia on that mountain. Let's just say that. That was tough. The brakes were it was terrible. I don't want to do that again. So I trust Kevin's 4-wheel drive all day long going around that thing. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can do it. If not, we'll figure something out. It's not the end of the world. Either way. But that's the show in a nutshell. Hopefully some good racing action at Bristol. I'm curious to see how this new car is going to be there. Did they ever say anything before we go about the rear diffuser? Are they still going to have it on there?
I would imagine so.
I'm just wondering if it digs into the track. That's what I'm curious to see what happens.
I mean, that's for the teams to figure out if that they got to lift the car up a little bit. I mean,
Yeah, we'll see. But anyways, I'm gonna head off, guys. Thanks everybody that tuned in or will watch later. I know me, Octane, and Josh appreciate it, and we're gonna wrap this deal up. I'm Danny and Grays with
High octane cards.
Cleveland Card Connection.
and we'll see you guys later. Peace, guys. Take care.
See ya.
Take care.